Boys and girls, I've missed you. I've missed you so much. Welcome to Team Fortress TV. Yes, it is I, TurboTabs. I have returned, and I'm not alone. I'm also joined on the co-cast by my caster of the season. Everyone bow down to the big beta.
Hey, yeah, it's 3 times in a row. You know, my plan is to be so obnoxious about it that people don't want to vote for me anymore. So someone else can win it. So, but yeah, we also have, of course, Wiethoofd on production. So if things look fancy, you can thank him. And
beat me to it, beta. And I was going to say, he's the award winner in my heart, the true person of the season. If only they gave out those awards, but sadly they do not. But anyway, that's enough about our production staff. That's enough about my emotional state of coming back onto a live stream. It is now about our new season beta. It is ETF2L Season 30, sponsored by STN Trading and Scrap.tf. Yeah, you heard me, beta. We've actually got some cash, money, dollar at this season.
yeah, it's about times when nerds make some money. I can't remember what exactly the prize pool is, but it's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice first prize.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
It was sitting around €1,000, which is nothing to snuff at here, beta. That's a lot of change for these hungry TF2 players. The ones that are usually just playing for the pride, and now they're going to be playing for the pockets. And who knows, maybe they actually will just follow that ETF2L tradition and buy a mouse mat, just to kind of keep the whole tradition alive. But anyway, what is a season without its teams, beta? Let's get straight into it. Our first 2 seasonal teams of our Grand 30 season. It will be Ascent.EU versus the Bus Crew. 2 names should be getting quite familiar with at this point, beta.
Yeah, we've already seen the Bus Crew. They of course won the qualifiers. You know, they were one of the few teams that were not just put straight into the frame. They had to earn it, and they earned it. And they won it, barely edging out the competition in the upper bracket final, but they made it just fine. And then, of course, we have Ascent, which is kind of a reform of an old top 5 team, which is just a really, really old school French team. And I'm very, very excited to see it because it's basically like Ombrac and Elecor from Ascent, and then they have like 3 old school French players. Well, I don't want to say old school, but 4 French players that we haven't really seen. Like they all basically quit at the same time. So like Opti and Neo on Scout, and then we have Korback and Medico on Soda. And that Soda combo is crazy, but have they played enough? You know, that is what time's going to tell. They were basically the team that won the Nations Cup finals. They beat Germany. And they've had some pretty good results. And then, of course, they reformed into Ascent and had some success as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see just how it all pans out for them, whether or not going fully French is going to be a boon or a detriment to them.
Très magnifique, beta, but we do have another team up. And we did kind of touch upon them for a brief second. It was the Bus Crew. Let me just go through the roster here. We've got Bot Mode all the way from America playing on Scout tonight. Got his Scout buddy Alba, who is still sticking around with that Bus Crew, because I think that guy is literally Bus Crew through and through. We've got Yon, a staple, a big name on that Bus Crew lineup. The leader, you could almost say, for that squad. He will be playing that Demo Man tonight. And we've got the new fresh faces of Polygon on Pocket Soldier. Tobbs will be making a return on that Roaming Soldier. And Martin will be that new... Is he the new medic? Or am I... Oh, he was there last season as well. Well, okay, I just felt like there was more new people than I estimated. But yes, the Bus Crew. So... Beta, what can you tell me about the Bus Crew? Is there anything you can say about these new people that have just joined the server this season? Is there anybody that's really kind of seen as an upgrade, a downgrade, a side grade? What's your thoughts? Wow, he's truly speechless. I'm speechless as well. So we could probably get a bit into our process map, which will be our week 1 first map of this ETF2L season. And
oh, okay. Sorry. Sometimes Mumble will just lag out. And
right, you're just gathering your words. I thought I just asked you, what did you think of the bus crew, and you were truly speechless.
yeah. I did answer. There's nobody could hear it, but yeah, they upgraded. I think bot mode is a really nice upgrade over Deox, and I think bot mode is just a top 5 scout in the European TF2 league. Like, I think he's that good, and then, of course, they also have Polygon instead of Poison, which I'm not sure is an upgrade. But Polygon is an up-and-coming soldier, kind of like Poison as well. I think Poison was really getting into the groove and becoming a really, really good player. So I'm a little bit sad to see him go, but Polygon is a very promising prospect as well. So, like, overall, I actually think they're going to be stronger. They're mostly the same team. They played together at LANs, like several LANs I even think, and then they played together last season. So there's some slight changes, but we have a lot of players, and they all seem to have the same mindset of just trying really hard to win and just having and following the same game plan and game style. So I actually rate Bus Crew quite highly. I think it's going to be a very close match. It all depends on how good the Frenchies really are, I think.
Yeah, that is a very good question. Actually, that leads quite nicely into my next question, Beta, and that is, who do you think is going to win tonight? If you had to tell the audience where they should put their money, what's the educated guess here?
Yeah, so the problem here is that I'm not really educated or informed about how active these French players have been, because they have 4 quote-unquote new players. As in, I don't know how just active Korvac and Medico and Neo and Opti have all been. So, if they had just been active throughout this whole time and been playing together as a team, I definitely say they have the edge. But I also think that the Bus Crew are just really... They have been very impressive. They've just slowly been getting better and better. And I think they have a real chance of getting top 4 in this season. So, it's going to be very, very close. I feel like I have this slight inkling that Bus Crew might just steal this, but I think they're going to be, in general, on the ropes most of the match. It's just going to be a matter of can they actually stabilize enough to make it work. And I think the safe bet is Ascent, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bus Crew won at all. I'm actually just going to go with the Bus Crew winning in very close golden cap maps. So, yeah, that's my bold prediction. How about you?
Oh, damn. Well, I think you're right on the money. I think by these new heads popping in on the Ascent roster, they're going to take a few weeks to kind of shake off the rust, and this is all part of the shaking process, Peter. It's just these first couple of weeks, and I think Bus Crew are going to pinch it. Like you said, maybe not golden caps, but I think it's just going to come to the wire and just a good old-fashioned 6-0, just by mere rounds. Anyway, our first round has begun. It is process. It is Ascent.EU versus the Bus Crew, and the first thing I'm seeing on mid Beta, it is an aggressive Korvac and Medico. They've all kind of penciled back a little bit to get some of those lovely heals from Ombrek, their captain. They will send in the aggression now, and what aggression it was! Korvac hitting some nice crisp pipes, opening up the entire mid fight there and kind of picking off the damage one by one. It doesn't even feel like they're being assisted too much, these soldiers from Ascent as well. How dare I say there was some rust there. As the dust settles though, they do lose more players to the remaining Jon and Alba. A nice kind of sync-up play by the remaining Bus Crew players to kind of clutch that last mid.
Yeah, it was a very, very close mid overall, and actually both medics surviving is pretty rare to see. And then it was actually a 4-on-3, but all of the Bus Crew players were playing together, whereas the French players, they were a little bit more split up, and then some of them jumped in and kind of fed, and then it just slowly escalated out of control to the point where it just wasn't worth actually taking that risk. So we're going to just have a middle here. Both medics did survive, and we see bot mode just immediately going sniper. He's kind of known for being a very good sniper, and so that's definitely also one of the reasons why I think bot mode is such a good pickup. DX was a good sniper as well, but bot mode is definitely a guy who's absolutely capable of just completely crushing it sometimes. So, if he gets hot, you have to be very, very scared. But of course, Neo is also a really good sniper. He was just getting really, really good. We actually have a jump in here, or at least an attempt at it. Didn't work out too hot, so Polygon just gets completely stunted. But yeah, Neo has I feel like he was just really an underrated sniper. He was just doing extremely well always in sniper. So,
well, they will respond.
Oh
my god! Okay, callback. I kind of popped off the callback cam for a second. I was like, "There's no way he's going to get this med kill." Went onto the bottommost cam. How wrong was I? He does manage to thread the needle, find the kill onto the Dutchman, and there we go. It is going to be maybe. Oh, actually, there's a little kind of a wraparound play, a back cap attempt maybe coming out from the bus crew. It is forcing the hand of Ascent all the way back. All of those players have to come crawling back. Tobbs will go down, but he forces the Uber on Umbrak as well. God, what a value flank there coming out from the bus crew, Peter.
Yeah, now it's just going to be a matter of actually just going to be pretty much a straight up fight. Polygon is very far forward, pretty much alone. Yeah, he just got completely left out alone. I think he didn't quite manage to pick up on the fact that everyone else was just out. Oh, Elecor! First air pipe of this season. See you later, button nose. But welcome to European TF2. Elecor will not miss air pipes.
Disgusting, disgusting. It would come out of the Elecor man himself, the aptly named Demo Man of the Season a while back. I'm not sure if he took the previous season, but he definitely got a few under his belt. They are making the push now, despite still capping that second point over on the back line, as they are trying to fish in one soldier. He will go down, Medico, and Callback will go down as well, trying to follow up on his damage, but you got to try, I suppose. And they have got that Uber advantage now, but they're pretty swiftly behind over on Martin and the bus crew. They're going to have their Uber just by the time the soldiers come back into the mix for Ascent.EU. It's a shame that Tobbs will throw his life away trying to force out that Uber, trying to engage.
Going for the last. Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought you were going for the medic. Now he's going for the medic. Alright, doesn't quite get it. But Martin didn't actually have his Uber, so if he had just gone for the medic, right, he would have had.
Oh, Jan! He got the double kill onto Elecor, onto Neo. That is a shunt in this push out onto last point now. They have got an Uber charge over on Umbrak, but what good is it if he's got nobody to bloody Uber charge, Peter?
Yeah, it's completely useless. They're going to get nothing out of this, and they're very smart not to try and block this point because they just lost so many players. Just Jan going absolutely huge. He killed 2 players and then got, I think, even a 3rd pipe as well, so that the last order got picked off as well. So just absolutely massive play, and that's just going to mean that they can get out here without using their Uber at all. And this is a pretty good situation. You know, we already seen Korvac is capable of dropping a medic, and this is actually an easier place to drop a medic under most circumstances. Easier to make your way from middle into second than it is to make it from second into middle, and he made the hard one already, so why not just do the easy thing and just go in there and drop the medic?
A unique hold coming out from Jon here. He's actually holding the sewer area, Peter. You don't really see too many demo men hold that sewer area nowadays. They prefer to kind of hold on to that choke and just give him the old Kado spam, but it seems that nobody really wants to press the issue against Jon's trap, and he will back off eventually, any second now. No, he's still holding the line. I thought somebody would kind of close in on him. They realise he's there, but no one dares fight against Jon, and I mean, for good reason. He's probably doing the best on his team right now.
Yeah, Opti had a chance there to go sniper, and actually Polygon's going to get picked off there. Elecor has shown before that he's extremely good in this choke. He will just pipe people and get some really easy trades, and now we're actually going to see a nice wraparound. They take down Tobbs. He was trying to hold this PC here, and they sent a scout behind, and now Jon's going to come in from the front. Oh no, sorry, Elecor, and they actually get a pop-off. Really great pressure. Wow, and there's still a scout behind in Opti.
Yeah, because of that pressure coming from PC, left choked all on its own, and Elecor just threw a couple of pipes in, and it was enough to kind of scare Martin into popping off his Uber, but probably for the best, as could have been drop territory right there. They are pushing the issue now with Ascent because of that little advantage.
Oh, Jon goes down. Great bomb in there from Korvac. I think it was Korvac. Yeah, it was. It's going to completely open everything up. There's both soldiers trading.
Team, nobody's capping second. Ascent really want to push in with this Uber so close. They want to chase him all the way into base, but nobody's capping second right now. They were so busy trying to make the chase onto Martin. He has gone back to his respawn queue. Well, his respawn, I should say now. And they will cap off that second point eventually. Actually, they're still kind of feathering around this last point here, seeing if they can still push the issue, get some spam, get some damage. Elecor has had enough. He will back off now just to get some reloading going in his gun, but a bit aggressive for my liking, Beta.
Yeah, it's almost like a Dignitas push where you just seem to just completely forget that second is a thing that you have to cap before you can get last. So, yeah, they just basically couldn't do anything about the fact that they just retreated and spawned. Now they're going to come up with a counter Uber here, see what they do with that.
Yeah, they had to Uber so early just to kind of get the ball rolling here. Usually, as a medic, sometimes you just pop off that Uber just so you can give confidence into your teammates to kind of push forward, Peter. And they have pushed forward, but there's nobody to really push into. Ascent read it quite nicely, back out, and start rotating around to that PC.
They're just going to Uber in straight away. They're taking it through lower PC, and it looks like everyone got out except for Tops. And they might get a single soldier. Oh, no, he gets arrowed. Nice arrow there coming up from Martin. He's going to save Polygon. So the French Uber is completely over now, but they're still kind of making their way into last. I think they're trying to apply some pressure here. Korvac has jumped behind. It looks like he will get picked off, but Martin is getting jumped by his second soldier as well. He gets picked off. And everyone else just retreated. That was just a suicide wave to try and pick off Martin before any Ubers came into play, but they didn't quite get him.
Oh, nice little play coming out by Elikor there. Not only had a sticky trap up, but a sticky set at his feet to kind of do a double sticky trap and jump away shenanigan, as they will be forced out of this second here, and there was real no price paid by the bus crew because they lost most of their soldiers. That's usually their picking power, and with that gone, they're going to hold on to this Uber, but Umbrak's got his Uber now over on this midpoint.
We're stuck here in choke again. It just seems like both teams are extremely good at just making their way into these push situations, then keeping their medic alive, and then we get stuck in these choke. So it looks like we have
callback Medico. Oh, they land a shot onto Martin, onto some scouts as well. Little bonus there. So with Martin going down and a full 100% Uber charge on Umbrak, they're already starting to make this put. Oh no, Umbrak drops Neo during the Uber. It's a good thing the Ham is there to kind of pick up the slack. He will get a taste of the meat by Elikor there. They've got the second point on lockdown unless they've got Polygon
they're gonna
to
get
say something about
really
it.
easily though. Yeah, so they don't really dare. Like there's 5 players alive for bus crew.
Callback.
It's just going to be so dangerous.
Oh, callback, the drive-by, or should I say the rocket-by? Or maybe just the bye-bye. He has gone down, and they have got an Uber charge building on both Martin and Umbrak at this very point in time. Nobody is really kind of straying ahead with the advantage, but it was a bit of a player advantage, so Medical is trying to kind of capitalize on that. Will be pushed back by Jon over on that left-hand side. So, things have reset, Peter, and I just want to remind you, it's still 0-0 here.
Yeah, and it's a small Uber advantage for Umbrak as well. I think he realized, I think that's why they didn't really push and pressure here, but I could be wrong. Yeah, it looks like they're just settling out here, so they don't realize that they have a slight Uber advantage that they could have pushed on. So instead, they're just going to sit back and then presumably send in a soldier. But so far, their soldiers have been really on point. Like, Korvac is top scoring on the server so far with 18 points. I'm pretty sure he's the roamer. They have switched that around a little bit, but oh my god, Jon actually gets taken down.
Oh, that's a massive
all the chokes
pick.
are open, yeah.
That is a huge pick now.
As well. Yeah,
oh my god,
nice
I don't think a push could not be any simpler at this point. They actually get out and milk all of that, so they've got so much room to work with the supercharge now. They do pop it early and they have to focus down this Pyro quickly, and he's proving a bit of a pest. He will eventually go down, but that was a lot of Uber wasted, and with a heavy weapons guy coming back up, it's a good thing you've got the rest of the projectile classes kind of farming some players here. They need to focus down this heavy though. He has been focused down now. It's just Albert left on this point. He will be shot down.
Martin, can he get
left swinging? He does get a slice, but he will get clubbed down.
Just one more second, he would have gotten that Uber to actually get the clutch block, but no, not quite. Yeah, he actually dropped the Uber there, so bad play, but no, that was really sick. But a really nice push coming in from that. It was all about that Uber drop, like Jon going down and then putting on the pressure. So far, they've been really impressing in Ascent. It's very, very good play from them so far.
Yeah, the bus crew haven't been too bad either. They've been impressing me with their decisions. It's just, if only things could just happen a second longer on these defences, things would be going the other way, I feel like. Tobbs actually bumps into Korvac in mid-air and will kind of almost crate, actually turns it around. He's kind of waving about with the stick. Will have to give up a shot from Opti, and that's one less shot for the rest of the 5 players of the bus crew here. They've got that mid-cap secured and already capping now. They're trying to go aggressive, seeing if they can get a kill onto either Elikor or to Umbrak. Umbrak is all the way out, so I don't think that's going to happen.
For the demo man? Oh, he gets baited. Alright, and the sticky traps have all been diffused. But these soldiers, they are looking like they want to get in there, but Korvac just decides against it. And that's gonna be another kind of set situation. These medics, they never die, it seems. It's just incredibly solid. Like, until they drop, they never die. But, yeah, that's how they die, basically. They drop.
Yeah, it's the all or nothing beta, as I like to call it. No hearty-farty in between. Anyway, we got an even Uber. We've kind of come to this stage of the game quite often now, but this time we've got a sentry gun in the works for Ascent. It seems like their approach for last point is way different to the bus crews.
Yeah, Alba's on snipers, so I actually really like having a sentry gun against a sniper because it will deny jumpers depending on where it is, but Alba is actually making his way into his left side and he's not spotted. Oh, there he goes.
That was the first shot as well, Beta. Usually the first shot is the deadliest for a sniper. He gets that surprise factor as well and catches... Oh, there we go. Actually, it's the second shot we should be scared of. He almost gets a sight line onto Ombrak there. Ducks behind cover in a swift fashion. Very nice by the Frenchman. So, Ombrak's going to be safe. Alba's going to be sent to the respawn queue. He is still free to try again, Beta, because his team has got a very strong hold on this second point as of now. So
that's pretty forward sentry, and I really like this because this gives you a lot of freedom to be very aggressive and aggressively hold entrances as the defending team on last. And that's because if you get bomb rush, you can just like jump away or just take a few steps backwards and there's a sentry shooting at them. So it's very easy to deny jumpers in if they go for your medic, and it's very easy to retreat to safety. So having this kind of forward sentry is very good for denying a sniper because of the way you can move very aggressively and just retreat to safety.
Oh, there we go. The pick onto Elacor. Again, just as strong as with Yon going down before. I could potentially see a round coming out of this. They even get the pick onto Callback. That's what would have forced that Uber a bit earlier. Now they get to use it a little bit later. They will have an Uber charge to deal with.
They're not killing the sentry gun though.
Because they've just... All they did there, Beta, was Uber charged the engineer there, and he just kept healing his sentry gun. They didn't bring enough firepower in onto that Uber. There was just a scout, and a scout's just not equipped to take out a sentry gun on his own, especially with an engineer kind of buffing it up like that. Very ingenious play coming out from Ascent there.
Yeah, they dropped Polygon on Uber. He was actually in there as well, but he got taken down, so they were just left with a single scout in there, and that wasn't enough. Alba will get another pick though, so as long as you just continue to pick off these classes, then you're just going to get a lot of space, and then at some point you can just bomb in a soldier, or you can get enough space to just move in and take off the medic. You can see Ombrak, he's playing very close. That means that if they start bleeding players, like a soldier will just literally walk around the corner and shoot him once and he has to pop. You know, so things can escalate very quickly if you're not careful, but you know, it's a forward position and I tend to like those.
Alba's rotating around. He realizes you can't stay on that right-hand side anymore. Just by the way that the soldier's positioned on top of the crates near the door, there's no head for them to actually fire at. And soldiers don't need headshots themselves, actually. Tobbs will get the pick onto Medico in combination with the Alba body shot. So with that pick underway, it kind of opens things up for Alba a little bit. More doorways, more chances, and more opportunity for the Swede. But he's having a difficult time picking a door right now, and they will lose Tobbs during all of the quiet time. Elacor's being kind of, you know, punctured here by some of this sniper rifle fire, but won't find the kill in the end. Will get healed up by Ombrak, and I think things are going to reset here, despite the hard work of Alba before.
Yeah, and Alba will even get taken down. A nice bomb in there from Korbak. Korbak playing an extremely good game so far. Let's see if they can make anything off of this push. We might see a counter sack here from Medico, who I'm pretty sure is playing Roamer. Like, he just seems to be away from the medics so much, and whereas Korbak is just eating a ton of heals. So I think that's actually a thing they're doing, just Korbak on pocket and Medico on Roamer, even though they're kind of known for the opposite. But definitely something that's worth keeping an eye on. See, Tops is making his way forward, just kind of continuously pressuring. He's actually on a banner. So, you know, it's a lot of ways you can abuse this. It's the counter-sniper banner, basically. It's the battalion's backup, so you can't get headshots.
Rolls off the tongue there, the counter-sniper banner. Maybe I should call it the battalion's backup, I don't know. I just like the ring to it. But he's going to just kind of farm up the damage here on this left-hand side, and has the medic with him, so he's not really going to overextend or lose his life in any way, shape or form. You still have Alba on that sniper rifle, because at a point like this in the game, why not? Why not go with the sniper?
Yeah, indeed. There's about 5 minutes remaining, so plenty of time, so they have time to just build the banner, make room for Alba, and just wait for someone to go huge. You know, like losing a single player when you're holding second like this against the last push, it's fine. You can really just take your time. Let's see how they decide to use it. You know, they can use the banner in first and then try to get the Uber Force out, or they can Uber in, make the exchange, make them Uber. You know, Omback is holding close, so they're easy to pop when you come in with the Uber. And then you can re-push. And there we go, Elikor going down. That's a really nice pick, so just already, that's, I think it's the second time he gets taken down by the sniper. So this is going to create a lot of space, and now it's just a matter of how they go into it.
He's brought down very low there. It's good thing he's got a dispenser, actually. Iron Man just sitting in the iron suit, getting healed up. Otherwise, they could have capitalized on that damage alone. They will pop off the Uber. They will take out the sentry gun quicker this time. And
Jan's going to go deep. Jan has jumped behind. And here comes the banner. So they have opted to do this, and Jan is still behind, just turning heads, and now everyone's going to come in from front. I think the banner has passed. No, it's still actually going. Now it's over, but Jan is still behind. He needs to come in soon. Tops actually hits a nice shot onto Neo. Can they make this happen?
Jan, he gets the 1v1 against Elikor, so with Elikor down now, there's no real way to defend this last point, and there we go, the second round on the board, Beta, and it's 1-1 apiece.
That was a beautiful push. Like, Jan's decision to jump behind there is pretty gutsy. I have to say, it was really nice, and just the fact that he stayed alive for so long enabled him to get a really nice sandwich going on. And they basically executed it perfectly. They picked off the demo man, popped the Ubers in, popped the banner in, jumped the demo behind, and then sandwiched everyone. So beautiful push coming out from Buskru, and that's going to make it 1-1. So great game so far.
Yeah, you got to have a lot of just kind of confidence as a demo man to kind of take that risk, and it's paid off. Jan has made the fast rollout, and he has turned up to the mid kind of a bit more prepared than the rest of Ascent on the plus side of it. They are bunching up, blobbing up, I like to say, over on Ascent on this left-hand side, kind of bait in some of these jumps, kite them around, and kind of gobble them up, and with just one less player.
Martin wants to leave, I can tell. He's just like, nope, I'm out of here. Yeah, just going to leave in Jan. And yeah, Martin has just grabbed the scout and he's running out of there. There's a really nice, basically a deny, I think, small air pipe from Elikor that just really...
Polygon behind, he goes for the bomb onto Neo, but Neo is just like the guy from the Matrix. He dodges it with swift accuracy, and they're going to cap off that midpoint because of that play from the Blob.
Yeah, and Medico's actually getting a lot of damage in here. Almost takes down Alba, the sniper, but Alba doesn't care. He's just going to continue to snipe and be annoying. He doesn't care if he doesn't have any more than 21 health. And Jan is he has another weird trap. He has one on the drums, or whatever you call it, those containers next to the med kit. So if you just pick that up and just keep walking towards him, then he's going to get you. There's also some things on the stairs. There's some weird traps. We actually see a scout. Very aggressive. Opti. Yeah, he's just in there and gets taken down. That was very aggressive.
Yeah, the railgun coming out from Alba there, just kind of use gun on man was the only thing he needed to do.
He's in so deep.
Oh, he's on top of Omback. He gets the drop onto him. He didn't see that sight line coming. They didn't see the sniper coming in from that left-hand side, and this could potentially be disastrous for Ascent.EU. Now they're on the back foot here. Elikor is setting up some traps, trying to pick up whatever pieces they have left on this Ascent squad, and the bus crew are feeling a whole new vigor to their push now. They're trying to push things out as quickly but as efficiently as possible. They will lose tops though. That isn't very efficient. They have to pop in the Uber because they did use from that computer room, and they're actually getting bullied back a little bit, maybe even picked off, dare I say. Callback wants to go in, and Callback will be punished. You do see a little bit of flank coming around from Medico here. He will get clipped by bot mode as well, and bot mode is actually taking the 1v1 to Opti despite having almost a full buff there, and you still have Alba kind of sitting in the back line as the sniper guy sniping people off, but it's just too much pressure for them. They will back off. They will give up second just from the numbers advantage alone.
Yeah, it was a pretty pretty messy push there, but they actually did manage to get far enough into choke to just really deny players enough that they could get that, and then there's a really clutch area from Martin onto bot mode that enabled him to kind of survive those fights. So those arrows are really important sometimes, and this was one of the times. And here we go, we see Alba versus Neo. This should be a fun sniper duel, but we'll see how they decide to play it. So far they're both really passive. They just don't want to take any chances. I can definitely understand why Alba's being passive, because Martin didn't have the Uber yet, but now that they do, we're probably going to look to move forward and just take it up. And we have some sneaky Elicore traps as well. So we'll see how they decide to play this. It's just all on the snipers at this point, I think.
Yeah, I'm just watching the Neo cam, and he just wants to clip a soldier. He doesn't want to get a kill. He doesn't want to kind of get a massive, super important headshot. Oh my God, Albert! Oh my God, he gets the not only the Medico frag, but the Ombrak frag as well. I picked the wrong sniper beater. I should have been watching the Swede this entire time, and he's still not stopping.
Yeah, Alba has been incredibly effective, and you know, you said it yourself.
Oh my God, he gets the snipe onto Neo as well. And there's only so many players for him to clip off. He will kind of go for the shot onto the last players, and they've got so much to deal with now. He actually gets the shot in midair. Oh my God.
Unbelievable. But they still get it. Oh wow. How's again just Alba getting in there? Like the pushes all make sense. They look really ugly, but they win those pushes still. So, you know.
Yeah.
I got called out for calling it a beautiful push before, but yeah, they work, man. That's all that matters, really.
Yeah, it just seems like a talented, sluggish push, but Alba kind of winning the round outright for his team there. You can see why he's playing a bit more time on that sniper class and a little less time on that scout class. They will throw in Polygon, and he draws a lot of eyes. It's actually Tobbs who's trying to do the softening blow against Ascent, and what a softening blow was. Some follow-up is even coming out onto the Ascent squad in the shape of Polygon. Yon is trying to see if he can cut off Neo, and Neo knows that he's going to die. Try and closes the line
bot mode is
onto
chasing,
Yon.
but he's weak, so he can get arrowed. No, he will not.
And he can
4K
also
for
kill.
bot mode on the middle.
Nice. So, very nice damage coming out from Tobbs and from Polygon there. And the key there, in my opinion, Beta, was just kind of the different approaches from both of these jumps. They kind of like sort of two different paths, but you had like two things to kind of fixate on as on the squad of Ascent, and it just made things a bit overwhelming. Usually if both of those soldiers just went the same goddamn way, it's a lot more easier to digest as a team, but these two soldiers are just too busy twiddling in the air, and you just seem so distracted to deal with everything else.
A medic actually dying on middle this time around. Ombrak died, and it was the last thing he did. So it's going to be a full Uber advantage push. We haven't seen too many of these, and it looks like it's just going to be the standard through a lower lobby, and then just Uber in maybe a soldier and a demo man, just get in as deep as possible. We'll see how they actually do this.
Oh,
but
double
needs to
soldier.
move pretty quickly.
Double soldier spam onto the sentry gun there. Opti will pick up his sentry gun, forces his hand, and they actually will kind of give up that sentry gun pressure because they picked it up.
Not getting him. Wow.
And they have tried to pressure the point just a little bit. Polygon actually goes for the frags here instead, the ones that were initially defending that point, and with just one player left, it makes it so easy to cap that off. And here we go, it's the bus crew leading with a 2-0 gap.
Yeah, 1-3. That's 2 up. I don't know. As I said, I'm not surprised at this, but I'm a little bit surprised at how these pushes actually work out for them, because they're so ugly. Like, Jan spent the entire Uber just focusing down Elicore until Elicore killed Jan. So that was 1.5 of the Uber there, but then the scout just came in and cleaned up really well. So Botmo's playing absolutely incredible, and Alba obviously doing work as well. So let's see how this middle works out.
Polygon jumps in, actually gets caught quite early this time, so not quite as damaging. Oh, Tobbs though was not kept an eye upon.
And Crits Creek, just want to mention it.
Yeah, he wants to kind of shift this game into a higher gear. With 4 minutes left, it's potential territory to kind of set this into a stalemate sort of game, slow things down, kind of grind out the rounds.
Are they going to go in with the Medico, Crits Creek? If they can find the medic? Like, maybe?
I don't think I like this. Okay, they will back off. So.
Neither did Ombrak.
Yeah, you've got the Uber charge for Martin now though, so that is a direct counter for that Kritzkrieg, and just throw more counters on top of it, Beta. Just get a sentry gun up by Tobbs, get a pyro up by Polygon. I don't care if he's playing a soldier class, he's going to go pyro despite this, so they're quite aware of this Kritzkrieg. And Martin isn't even too shy to hold these doors a little closer as well, so...
I want to point out that Uber only counters a Kritzkrieg if you actually press M2. So there's always a possibility here. You know, it looks like they're just looking for the medic right now, and then once they find out where he is, they're going to charge in Elicore. There we go. Korbak's found things. Oh, that was so close. I think it was like a sticky landing at the feet of Martin, but he has a really nice reaction. skills, and they actually even take down Medico as well. So just a complete wipe, pretty much. It's going to be Neo and Umbrak, because medics don't die unless they drop in this game, and it's going to be a second cap. So like having that sentry there was just so good. They just basically had no chance of getting in, and everyone was just playing so far forward that you just completely crushed that crit streak. I don't know if they realized there was a crit streak or not. Like maybe they saw it in the middle. You know, you can technically just see it across the map if you really pay attention. If you just look at the medi beams, but yeah, they definitely played really well into that crit streak. But we actually just see some real posturing and choking. There's actually a sentry gun far forward top carrying that gun forward, and now he's just a useless class, just the fat little engineer running back to spawn.
Well, you still got 2 minutes left in the game here, Beta. It is possible, technically, so they will actually give up second. I think they're a little sheepish here over on the bus crew, realizing that they don't want to go for the high risk, high reward plays. They will pop up the crits now. Ellicott can't seem to find the medic though. Martin's just too just slippery for him to get those stickies on top of. Tobbs even came back as the heavy weapons guy as well, so wasn't even able to get nuked down by that crit screen. They'll have to just kind of make a push out of it though. They're all just entering from every single door, but the no fun class has arrived, Beta. It's your favourite class, it's the heavy weapons guy, and he's denying everybody access to this point.
You need to make me admin of ETF2L so I can ban the class, but we are left in the situation where it's just going to be a crit streak against an Uber, and this Uber team, they are not going to push. They're just going to hold last and stall forever and ever. And the crit streak, it's being built pretty fast, but they're about ready to go in here. Oh, now they're just going to Uber into them. This is a very aggressive push. This might actually just come back to bite them. And they have actually popped the crit streak as well.
Oh, they got the kill on Tombrak though, so with the Uber charge kind of taken out of the equation now, they just need to stand their ground, play it safe, and kind of entrust them that the respawners will pick up the slack if there is any. And there isn't even that, Beta. Everybody's just about wiped out. It was just Medico left, but eventually Alba sniffed him out in that rollout room, took him to the cleaners, and they're even going to get the second point as well, just kind of add insult to injury.
Yeah, they can't lose at this point, so it's fine. Like, normally I'd say don't push out, it's stupid, what are you going to gain from it? But here, it doesn't matter. You know, technically also if you can get it, it's 2 points they have to push through, but no, we're done here. The boss crew will actually take the first map in a bit of a surprise, I guess. I don't know if, I can't remember your predictions, but I mean, I guess I'm right so far-ish, kind of. But yeah, this I think a lot of people were expecting Ascent to be the real crushing team here, like a top 3 team, and then Bus Crew would be somewhere down at like 6 or 5. But so far, definitely looking like the Bus Crew's got what it takes. But it could also just be some rust from the French teams.
They're actually typing to each other right now, saying, "We're not pushing." Yeah, what do you need? This is what they sound like. But yeah, so it seems neither of these teams want to kind of end it, and because there is no sort of surrender function in TF2, it will eventually go to that. It doesn't even go to the timer. They switch maps before the final second clicks off here, Beta. Someone's a little salty over on Ascent.EU right now.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they probably switched after like 1 minute and 20 seconds or something, right? Alright, so Wiethoofd has never heard of breaking configs in order to change maps more quickly. It's something people will do. Yeah, we'll report them to the ETF2L police, but yeah, we're going to look at some logs. I want to see the drops and death. I feel like it's going to be a very interesting stat to look at. Yeah, let's look at the drops and death, because I feel like a lot of the deaths are going to be drops. Actually, spoiler alert, Martin died 3 times and they were all drops. So
it's a cruel game.
That's a fun stat for you.
It's a cruel game.
It's both extremely good and kind of bad.
I mean, there was once a great medic, Beta, that said only the good medics drop. So maybe they're right. Maybe they know that sometimes if you put in that sort of scenario where you get forced off, maybe it's better just to drop, because you're not really going to gain anything from that Uber. I mean, you get a quicker respawn this way, I guess, if you just cut out the time that you're invincible.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Alright, Wiethoofd, can you sort it after kills? Because I think that's very telling. Like, look at the scouts from Ascent. Neo and Opti on 8 kills and 6 kills. That's really rough, especially Opti. It's on 108 damage per minute, 6 kills and 16 deaths. That's really rough. And then when you compare it to the other scouts, they're at the top end. With Alba on 25 and bot mode on 23. I'm going to call him bot mouse, and then I'm going to end up calling him bot nose because that sounds similar. But yeah, those scouts were really, really good compared to the Ascent scouts, and that was probably the real difference maker in this game.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit about it before, Beta. It's that first couple of weeks of Rust. I mean, these are talented players. These were, if you go back to the record, look at their past experience and their trips to LAN and all these other places, they have performed. They have done well. And tonight is just not one of those nights. I guess in an official setting, they need to get used to these official games as well as those practice games that I can only assume that they're, grinding out before the season even started. And it takes practice like anything to get back into it. So they will feel the sting of that now. And I don't want to kind of brown nose Ascent a little too hard here. They did lose to not just to the fault of their own, but to a good team. The bus crew was, like you said, not beautiful TF2 on the outside, but it was beautiful TF2 on the inside. To the core, mechanically, it was nice to watch, Beta.
I don't know if I put it. I think the decision making was really good, and then the execution was kind of messy.
Oh, right? I thought the execution was pretty good, and some of the decisions was like.
I don't know. Like I like the way they like. As soon as they dropped like a demo man, they would Uber in and then jump a demo behind and.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah,
I mean, that kind of like that's basically the strategy that won them, in the decision making.
Yeah,
and then they almost lost the DM fight, but they barely won out. So that's kind of my viewpoint on it. But yeah, and also I did mention at some point I wasn't quite sure who the pocket was, and that mystery will continue as both Medico and Korvac get exactly 18% heals. Medico got 10 heals more, like 10, not 10%, 10.
I think it's just it's the nature of the game right now, especially their team as well, is to be blamed. You've got a man like Medico who kind of plays a bit more of this pocketing demo sort of style, so maybe Medico is a bit astray, a bit confused, maybe wondering whatever happened to all those heals I used to get on Brack, and Brack's like, sorry buddy, you left me for a couple of seasons, I found someone new.
Yeah, he found a demo man that he's really, really fond of healing. That's the real pocket. It's definitely Elicor just getting tanked. He got 28% heals, and then Neo actually number 2 with 21. So Neo's definitely the pocket scout. And then actually Yawn getting quite a lot of heals, but Polygon being more of a pocket there, and then bot mode apparently the pocket scout there, if I had to guess, but it's a little unclear. There's also a lot of sniping going on from Alpha, so in those situations.
Well, that was our first map, Beta. It was just process, but this is ETF2L, baby. You don't just get one map like Stinky ESA, you've got 2 maps. Count them, 2! That's double the value in these ETF2L weeks as we are going on to our second map. It's Granary. It's a staple of classic ETF2L and TF2 in general. One of the longest standing maps, I think, so far. And still, I mean, if we discount the fact that it's a pro version, but kind of use your imagination for me, Twitch chat, as this is still the old Granary at heart. What can you tell me about Granary, Vito? Is this going to lend itself to any of these 2 teams tonight?
Well, it's interesting that the scouts seem to be a lot better on the bus crew, and Granary is a map that's pretty typically dominated by soldiers, or at the very least, the soldiers have the opportunity to really just assert themselves, especially on middles. So that would actually be really good for the Ascent team. Just really ignore their weakness and play into their strength, which was their soldiers. And, like, Korvac and Medical were great. Let's not kid ourselves. So, like, in that sense, it could definitely work out. But it is also possible that scouts will just deny middle really, really hard, because that can happen as well. It all depends on how they play and how things get timed out. But, yeah, we're going here.
We're going.
Ascent
we're live. We're
come
here.
Back here.
It's Granary. It's Ascent.EU versus the bus crew, and let's see if the bus crew could take in a full 6 fat ETF2L points, and so far they're actually on the back foot here. They're kind of being flanked, they're being butchered by Opti in the face, and to say he had a poor match before, he's had a great start so far, and they're still chasing this Martin frag.
Yeah, everyone was just chasing, but at this point Martin is really happy about that buff Medic got, where they can run the same speed as the Scout when they're healing him. Like, otherwise he would have been dead. But no, he got out just fine. And again, we just see the ability of Martin and Ombrak to actually just survive here. just really, really helping both teams. Martin, he only died to drops last game, so yeah, he's definitely on point. And they had to also just give up on second. They couldn't put any time on it because they didn't put any time on middle, and you have to cap middle before you get second. And I don't even think they can get yard as well. Nope. We see a boss crew. They are completely forward now, so they have it all locked down. And we are in a stalemate situation, so this is often where we see sending in 2 soldiers, or maybe a single soldier even, or running in someone through the left side. We actually have a soldier hiding up on the lamp here. We see Tobbs in the, let's call it the smallest skybox in TF2, like up there on the lamp next to the drop down. You can definitely just catch someone in there. If they decide to like run a scout through, sometimes people will do that to just kind of make space, and then they can distract for a soldier to jump through. So that's kind of your 2-man sack, but when Top's there, he can probably just juggle him around and just deny that. So, you know, we'll see how it plays out, but it's actually going to be on the other side that the action takes place, but they can not quite make it in, and that was just a distraction.
It was a very nice distraction as well. It tricked me, Vito. I got more of my attention like, what's happening on this left-hand side? And it was a bombing attempt from Korvac on that right-hand side. He will be punished, however, and because he's been punished, they had a player advantage, got the Elikor frag on top of that as well, and that's a massive pick. They could pick any door and kind of enter it for free without worry of some damn sticky trap getting in the way, so they will have to kind of rotate that mid-round for both of these teams. They will give it up, and both Ubers are still intact for both of these squads.
Yeah, and we see both teams, they've been pretty conservative with the way they play with Ubers. Alba looks like he's going to go in there. Korvac's tried to counter-sack just to make use of that small man advantage. And the Opti's even in very deep, he's going to get taken down as well. So these teams, they don't like to send in their medic, but they definitely like to send in their players. And will Alba go sniper is the question right now. Looks like he will indeed. He's had a lot of success so far. But his team is still playing very aggressively. That might not be the best time to do that.
Oh, bot mode. He's actually taken out the flank with both the scouts down. He has...
Oh wait, is that
what is this Ombrag doing? Ombrag, what are you doing? What was that play? He just kind of walked in. Did he forget what class he was looking at?
I don't know.
What?
Oh, Medico apparently called him weak and he was on 70. So, I don't know, still, don't do that. That's so bizarre to look at.
Alright, Umbrak, I'm going to have to prescribe you one of those HUDs that tells you, it gives you a little image of your class, tells you what class you're playing at that very moment right now. Because you're a medic, you don't want to go into a scout like that. I don't care if you feeling pretty good with that crossbow. I don't care if he said he was weak.
Like, maybe run at a European scout, but not an American one, you know? Just like, they're not going to be that bad.
Ooh, baby. I mean, he's got high ping as well. He's volatile. You could teleport next to you.
Yeah, they
say
put in actually. They unfortunately, it's only bot mode in at this point. The other soldier got bounced.
Oh my
down.
god, that sentry gun was brought down so low, and they're still spamming it now, but it's been brought back to health. They will get that second point, and god, I am still in a category 10 of tilt right now, Peter. I'm not even playing. Okay, reset. Count to 10. Count with me, Twitch chat. Alright. Okay. So, we're in Granary right now. It's Uber advantage for Ascent because of the Uber pop-in from the bus crew. So they're on the back foot right now. They have a chance to redeem themselves. And they will actually get the pick onto Alba, who's playing that sniper class. And I mean, that's the beauty of Granary for Ascent.EU. It's not quite as sniper-friendly as that process map. They will enter in from Z, kind of see if they can flank around. But oh, Tobbs, Yon, are they behind right now? Oh wait, no, it's just Tobbs who's being a pest. They will force out the Uber, and they drop Neo because Umbrak got sent to the sky. Olikor's actually gone behind, taking a page out of Yon again, a page out of Yon's book, and will end up leaving Umbrak to the Wolves over on second point, and there we go. That second point is going to get capped out, maybe even last at this last point as well. People have got the heavy weapons guy, but with no buff, he's going to go down quicker than any class in this server right now. It is 1-0 to the bus crew, Vita. What have you got to say after this round?
I was just so bizarre. It was a really good Uber exchange, basically, that really sealed it there for bus crew. You know, they sent Umbrak way into the skybox, and that means that he couldn't flash people, so those guys got dropped, and then they kind of panicked and tried to jump behind, and it didn't work out at all. just basically ran into scouts as they tried to get behind, and then it was just a pretty straightforward push onto last. So a bit of a bad Uber exchange coming out from Umbrak. So Umbrak really being the villain for his team so far on this map here. But we have another mid and a lot of soldiers just going in deep.
Yeah, Medico jumped really high in the sky and was controlled very early on by the bus crew scouts. They both took that upper area beater and met him in that skyline, kind of meat-shotting him in the air. You could even
Umbrak might not make it though. He's being chased by Alba and the medic even. He's so close. Can he make it out? He can, just in time, in the nick of time. Man, it's a lot closer when you don't have a scout to actually run you out. But he even made it then without a scout. So great job by Umbrak to staying alive on this mid.
Yeah, it's actually lucky that Medico went down so early, that last mid beater. If he actually put up a bit more of a fight, I think his medic would have died there, and it would have been a much more dangerous round for the Ascent.EU. But so they will get a sniper up on Alba now, thanks to his buddy opening the door for him. Very kind of you, good sir. So they've got their own sniper though, in the shape of Neo over on Ascent.EU. So I don't care if Alba's a cut above Neo right now, despite any rust, despite any sort of like possible like power play top 10, who's the best sniper, EU, all that jazz. Having a sniper just kind of pressure out the other sniper is always going to be good, despite the skill gap.
Yeah, well, it looks like the soldiers have a little bit something to say about that as well. It's gonna take down Alba. You know, Alba, he was just trying to creep forward, but the soldiers are really good at shutting down snipers if they have really good game sense and can just time their spam really, really well. There's actually a banner as well on the soldier. Is that Korvac? Yeah, it is. So that leads me to believe that Korvac is the actual pocket most of the time. You know, I'm still trying to puzzle this out. It's still a small
if
mystery.
it goes by any sort of history, Medico 9 times out of 10 is the pocket. So I am still going to firmly believe he is the pocket in spirit, when really the true pocket is Elcor. But
oh, it's kind of scary having your medic this close.
Oh, actually, they're throwing up a bot. Bot mode around the corner there. I almost called him Bot Mouse. Not today nickname, but he kind of bum rushed. He's actually called Bot Mouse on ETF2L. Okay, well, all right, fine. If he wants to be called a mouse, I'll call him a mouse. I'll appeal to the furries. Okay, so we've got Alba still stuck on that sniper class, and Neo is very aware of him right now. He's keeping a. They're actually trying to snipe each other, that little tiny hole for the tyre, but I'm not even sure if that has the clipping to shoot through that hole anymore. I don't think it does. I think you can just see somebody. It's like the equivalent of a window. There we go. Alba will actually get the first blood against that sniper. So this opens things up for him. And shame that the door opened up at the same time and Polygon went down trying to cover
Oh, he
the
actually
sniper.
hits a headshot onto a soldier. That means the Medico is very weak. He does get an arrow, and the scout couldn't quite get to him in time, so he will survive, but that's a pretty scary situation. I actually would have loved to see Alba kind of rotate more after he got the first headshot, because once he gets that, like, they know exactly where he is. So going for a different entrance would probably be a good idea, but he's just going to try again, see if he... Last time around he had the much quicker trigger finger.
Quick beta, who's going to win, Neo or Alba?
I think Alba's got this. I think he's still going to control when the doors
close to looking each other. Okay, 3, 2. Oh, you were right. Ding, ding, ding. Get that mana prize. What do you want, Beta? Do you want the giant plush bear, or do you want what's in the mystery box?
I'll take the plush bear.
Alright, well, 1 plush bear for you. Can Alba take home the gold, the big boy prize, the round for his team, as he has got a bit more room to work with now, with not only Neo going down, but Callback as well, and they actually take all this room and try and take a lot more for free. Oh no! Young gets dropped during the Uber! The kind of quick round the corner play. Oh, Neo saving that last point against Polygon, who was just standing up on it.
Both Ascent soldiers up top. That's a really strong position to be in.
Callback's behind as well, so they've got sniper. Oh, Alba!
Alright. You can't quite run behind, but that was still a really nice trade there. That's going to make the cap a lot slower. We actually see Korvac behind. Okay, he has been spotted. He was trying to be sneaky there, but didn't quite manage to make it work. But now the Medicos go forward. Oh my god, Tops
Polygon? Oh, he's in,
Elecor.
and he's got the kill into Medico. I mean, it's just a trade at the end of the day, but I don't think he was aware of all the other players on Ascent.EU. They're just come barreling into mid now, seeing if they can close the line on this Yon kill, but will go back to his lovely Dutch arms of his medic. So, we got a mid finally exchanged between both of these two teams now, despite that long little hiatus over on the last point. And it looks like things were a bit healthier for Ascent.EU.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them go for a really aggressive push through the left yard. Like, there was some respawners coming out, so there's probably going to be like a sniper in spawn. That's what you expect, right? There isn't. There happens to not be one, but that makes a lot of sense to really respect that. And looks like they're not going to dot push either. But, you know, they can still go left side if they really, really want to, but they're going to have to do a little bit more than that to get some distractions going. We saw before kind of how it rotated around and put pressure on different things, but Elecor actually just takes down Yon. Elecor pipes are a menace, and they've even sent someone through the right side. It's going to be 2 scouts against 1. But so far...
Neo is focusing on Martin though, and they will actually use their Uber first. Ombrag pops off his own Uber, but his heroes are just a little bit more damaged than the opponents over.
Elecor just hit a bunch of pipes though. That's going to really tip the fight in favor of his team, but not quite going to see any follow-up going on here. But yeah, Elecor is just really, really doing work with pipes right now. It's kind of what we're used to seeing as well. So, you know, justifying those heals, but Neo cannot stay alive on this point, and that's going to mean they're going to have to pull back. Like, you really need to keep your scouts alive if you want to edge the point here, and they didn't quite manage to do that.
Nice turn coming out from the bus crew there, realising what sort of state they're in and realising what power they have at their fingertips, and they know that they had the positional advantage there, could turn around against anybody who was just kind of feeling a bit overzealous, a bit aggressive over on Ascent, and that was Neo. He went down quite quickly, and that kind of stumbled Ascent, made them reassess things and think about actually pushing off that advantage. They will get a pick onto Polygon, and they've got the Uber charge now over on Martin, so they kind of want to bait this push in almost, and maybe not lose too many frags though. That is going to make them a little nervous over on the bus crew. Okay, now they're extremely nervous, Peter, as they've also lost Tobbs as well in that sort of ramp room, that lunchbox area, and they actually have to give up second downright.
Yeah, and they could just walk in.
Martin! Oh, he drops!
Oh, no,
he drops!
Sick snipe there coming out with the stickies. And now it's just a matter of walking in as slowly as you can, just putting pressure on point. Everyone's in spawn. Literally everyone in spawn except for the demo man. And there's a few stickies, but now they're forced to come out here. There we go. 1-to-1. Really good push there, and just slowly grinding it out. And then Martin, you know, he only dies to drops, so I suppose it's fitting. That's how that ended. Gets taken out.
A nice jump coming out from Medico there, I think. He kind of went into the blind spot of Martin. He had his vision all across the map, but the pipe kind of concealed Medico there and didn't really see him coming, and ended up dropping to that. And I do hope he's kind of chanting that Nox quote over and over again, saying only the good medics drop, only the good medics drops. Otherwise, this might potentially start tilting him. Who knows? As we are going into our third round of the map so far, both soldiers are actually opting to focus down just one player, and it makes it so easy for the soldiers and the scout to kind of follow up and kind of make use of the splash damage and clean it up. The scout hides in the corner and will go down. Medic is even
really
alive.
Clean mid. Like, surviving middle with 2 scouts and a medic is basically the best 3 classes to have alive. At the end of a middle, you get a lot of mobility, a lot of cap power, and you get your Uber still. So, a really good situation. I thought for a second that we were going to see a sniper. It looks like that's not going to be the case. Going to go double NG, which will get you banned. And to see the optic sniper. Oh, they're hiding out here. Maybe they're waiting for the medic to walk out, but like, there's no way Omback goes out that far, right? So that was weird. I mean, I suppose you don't really lose anything by going for that kind of thing.
You say there's no way he's going to walk out there, Peter. We have seen him kind of walk out there this evening. Maybe they're just kind of...
One goes onto the sniper. Actually, he just walks in there.
Oh, is he going to get the soldier pick? Oh, no, Callback actually gets the kill onto him, but he survived a little longer than I really liked him to. Yon will take this Uber in now, and he has got a lot on his plate to clean up. He's got not only a sentry gun to kill, which he's just cleaned up now, he's also got to deal with the blob of Ascent.EU and some respawners to boot. Tubbs, what a bomb! Gets a kill onto Ombrak, as well as some clean damage. and maybe sets up this.
It's heals on the scout though against 2 explosive classes. You just dodges.
He really can't dodge. Martin he's actually peppering them down with this crossbow. Bot mode's enter the fight. He's got the kill onto him now. He's got to deal with another soldier. Bot mode. Martin's doing the right thing, trying to tank some frags, but Callback is keeping well centered on what frags need to go down first.
Amazing play by Korvac there to save it. Like this, killing a scout and just jumping on top of those boxes is not easy, but that was an extremely close fight, and it looks like they will actually be able to get all the way out here, just cap it out, and then it's going to be Alba on spy, or is he just checking? Or is he? No, he is actually on second here. Yeah, he's just standing there waiting around, trying to see if he can find the medic or just anyone with their back exposed. Let's see.
He's exposed himself, and they should, they see him coming. They see this very slow, sluggish scout walking towards the way of Neo, and he goes, don't think that's a scout boy.
Yeah, like Neo saw himself, he was like, no, I can't multiply until like the third one, so he takes him out. But anyway, it's going to be an easy take off middle here. Umbrak doesn't have to use his Uber. It's just a matter of will they actually push through. They will, so they're just going to leave a single scout and then push through. Take Yard at least for free. They could even go on to second as well. They have to be a little bit careful about people in spawn. There is a single scout. And, they actually take down Alba. Alba messing up there.
They've used the Uber just to get past the sticky spam from Yon there, and they're going really aggressive with this. They throw Elikor straight into the sight lines of Martin, but can't quite get on top of him. Medico's like, here's the medic, but he hasn't got any rockets to actually fire the medic. So he's going to go down himself, and they have got second as a consolation prize, but with an Uber charge over on your boy Martin, it kind of makes me think that Bus Crew are going to come back and claim their territory again.
Yeah, you gotta respect that Uber, and they even have someone to look at the back caps and everything, so very safe push out here. Still 1-1, about 12 minutes remaining, so this is very tense TF2 so far. And pushing into the middle now, of course, even with a full Uber, is very scary.
Ooh! There was a trap attempt coming out from Elikor there. He had some sort of sticky wonder set up in ramp room and clips Yon, but doesn't quite clip Martin. So that's still a pretty good second choice for Ascent.EU, as that is put a full stop to this push, and actually a backpedal now. They've gotten in for free on the flank as well, so that is going to gain a lot of ground for Ascent.EU. They're starting to wrap round from this lunchbox side. Opti's already in. He's going for the long flank round. He even gets a kill onto Yon as well.
Opti's coming in behind. They do manage to Uber, but Opti's still behind. He's just fighting these scouts. Is
he fighting them? He looks like he's dodging them. He looks like he's... Oh, wait, eventually
he was,
goes down.
But now he's not, because he's dead.
Callback, he's going in onto the medic. I mean, is that really the kill? He's just jumping around. He's taking the scenic route. He's linking back with his team now and kind of drawn all the eyes, all the ammunition, and all the attention away from the rest of his team, who were capping off that last point. It's 2-1 for Ascent, and what a turnaround, Beta.
Yeah, it just really looks like basically the soldier advantage is just really, really working out well for them right now. Like even just Korvac jumping around it, still getting 2 kills after just basically jumping throughout the entire space of that second point. But just really, really strong play right now. And Bosku, they have to win this middle. That would be a good start to coming back. They have about 10 minutes, so not quite time to panic. But this is scary because these mids can be very, very swingy. And here comes the first soldier in the skybox, but they're not really getting much done, and Korvac is going to take down Polygon quite easily. And both teams haven't really committed so far.
Yeah, well, there's a lot more commitment coming out from the bus crew, and they've been punished for it. I guess Ascent slowing things down, just kind of entrusting that they'll kind of focus fire the right thing at the right time, and it works out at this moment in the game. Yon is kind of backing out with his medic, maybe thinking about setting up a trap on the way, or actually he wants to take the fight. What a man! As he's setting up some stickies and some damage, and there we go, clips off Neo with his scout buddy, and that will teach Ascent.
Yeah, the important thing there was actually the pipe onto Umbrak. That meant that he had to retreat. But there's actually just going to be an Uber exchange, and these medics, they can very easily get stuck. Looks like Umbrak will make it out there, but he is pretty weak, so any kind of aggression onto him could be very, very punishing. But he can't really leave his team
God,
either.
Very well played, Martin. If I could take my hands off the keyboard right now, I would give you a clap, sir, because he dodged that bomb from Medico, just wonderfully, expertly. Yes, that is the word I'm looking for. And there we go. Because of that, now that one little pick, that's all they need. They're such pro players, Beta, that they can just kind of snowball off these little tiny advantages, and there we go. They've got that midpoint back again just because Medico couldn't quite land the rockets onto the Martin.
A single scout here in forward spawn. Let's see if he decides not to die this time around. Yep, it's going to just switch back. And they are actually just holding inside. So this is kind of how sometimes people explain this map as a 7 CP, because there's this yard area. This is kind of unique to all of the comp TF2 maps. So now it's just a matter of how can they make it in there. And this is a pretty fun stalemating place. Like, you see Medico is in complete...
he's so far behind.
He's so much trouble.
He's just gotten out of the pipe. He's like, that's it, I'm out of this lunchbox, I don't want to play anymore, and he just leaves and goes behind again. But I don't think Yon's going to be aware of him. He's going to take a fat rocket to the face. 3 rockets actually it took him to get that kill.
Milking here as well. Oh, looks like, okay, he will pop there, so he gets completely meat shot by bot mode. Will not take that chance. This is actually one of the few situations where he probably could have just milked that, but yeah, he's not going to drop. He doesn't feel like it. So as a result, it's just going to be an even Uber, and they're going to cap middle, and they are ahead 2-1, so they can really just slow down the game. You know, the longer you slow down the game when you're up, the bigger your lead is technically. You know, obviously this is far from over, and it's not really a time to completely park the bus.
Tubbs gets the kill onto Ellicott. Didn't really expect him to be in that hiding spot you were talking about earlier there, Beta. And with the light bulb kind of paying off, Medico is yet again behind enemy lines, and this time enemy lines are coming to him. They want to get this Medico frag, and he's bought so much space for his team just from doing this play, just by crawling deeper and deeper. He even gets a trade after all of that. You've got to be a little salty if you're on the side of Bus Crew at this very moment. The dust is settled, things have calmed down, and we're over onto another mid. And Yon jumps in, tries to kind of make space for his team and close off these avenues, these doorways for Ascent.EU to kind of bite back on this midpoint. And they've got the Ubercharge advantage, so you can see why Ascent want to give them all the respect, all the ground in the world. And they actually get a pick onto Toms, who was going for the flank round there, Beta.
Yeah, that's going to definitely slow things down a little bit, which is unfortunate because they do have the Uber advantage and you want to just use that as fast as possible. Of course, I feel like you can actually just Uber in here, because when you're in this tiny enclosed second area and there's an Uber on Uber fight, like, they just have to get out of there because you can't really kite Uber in there. So they lost a bit of an advantage there, and it was all just because of that pick. I feel like they could have actually gotten away with it, but oh, it looks like it's going to just be an Uber force. He tried to save his shoulder, but it didn't work out, so...
Oh, no. And is Medico going to go drop down as well? I don't think they're going to see this coming either. He does drop down, and Yon should have spotted him maybe in his vision there, but I don't think he did, and Yon was too busy focusing on the shutter door area. And
Tobbs on Spy.
Yeah, Tobbs went Spy very early on. It was a bit...
Again, Opti. Oh man, Tops is just running into Scout to a Spy. It seems to be a pattern, and Polygon's going to try to get out, but he gets perfectly just 1-2 by some explosive classes. It's going to be a mid-cap here with a full Uber again, so they could move on, but it's always a little bit dicey, especially because they get forward spawn, so there can be a sniper in spawn. There is actually a sniper in spawn. So he gets some free shots off here. He has been spotted, but it looks like he will not quite be able to hit. But you're taking a chance by going to the right side. That's why most people go left side. But this time around, it kind of works out. Ubers have equalized now, however, so they have to be aware of that. They can't really push into them, and they probably have no real interest in really forcing anything anyway.
Yeah, they eventually force out Tobbs from that forward respawn there. You can even check the window. That's what Callback was doing on that right hand side, having a quick peek, see if the Tobbs was still faffing about in that room, but faff about no longer he will, as they've got even Ubers on both of these teams and nobody wants to kind of push the issue forward, and Ascent are quite happy to not have this issue pushed. It is 5 minutes left on the clock, and with a round up on Granary no less, with the mid in their back pocket as well, I can see why they want to slow things down here, Vita.
Yep, they actually end up getting a Roma trade there in C. Just gonna basically shoot each other twice and then explode. That's a classic Roma trade. But yeah, this is a pretty fun stalemate in my opinion. It's a lot more fun for the attacking team, but there's actually bot mode in the drop down. Looks like he has been kinda, if not spotted, then at least figured out.
How do you... If you're Opti, how do you even spot that coming? Do you hear his footsteps in the pipe? Do they make a clang there, Beta?
Yeah, you can also spot which players are in which area and then know that he could have gone behind.
They didn't spot Tobbs behind, and Tobbs will get the kill onto Opti. He will get punished for it, however, because he's a soldier and he kind of uses his health just fighting those close quarter fights. And I mean, at the very least, it's a trade between both of these teams.
Yeah, indeed. And again, Ascent, they're just not really forcing anything. They do have a pick right now. They're one man up, and they have actually sent in Korvac. Korvac snuck his way in there, but he meets a scout, and so they will not be able to get to the medic. So things are going to just slow down a little bit more. And it's just a matter of, like, if your bus crew, I think you just go out through the right side. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. They're just going to flood this right yard. And they have actually...
Opti just kind of went in on that left-hand side as well, took a pick, did go down, but kind of contributed to forcing off that Uber as well, so he's done his team justice. Oh, Neo's got dropped during this little Uber exchange.
Well? Oh, okay.
And they're kiting this Uber quite well here. They've got not only people in front of them, but behind them, and Korvac actually has to go back and deal with these people behind before they can deal with the people in front. They will get that second point just from numbers alone, or will they? They're actually thinking about
Jan's coming in doing a ton of damage, and now there's a scout as well.
Oh wow, well juggled by Albert and Jon there. They've done this a few times now, BT. You can see why they're the sort of veterans of the Bus Crew squad. Their sort of synergy is kind of rubbing off here.
Yeah, just going behind, like Jon apparently just really thrives on being behind lines and just destroying players who tries to jump him. He did a really good job there. It's going to be a teeny tiny advantage for Martin. This is the kind of thing they haven't really been pushing on so far, but this is a different situation. There's 2.5 minutes remaining. They're one down, and looks like they might just go in here, but they're being so careful. Actually just going to Uber out.
Jon does get an Uber charge just in time, but they have to not only force out the Uber to try and get out.
Oh, Martin couldn't make it out alive, so that's a complete car crash of a push.
Yep. I mean, if it went to be better, if they could maybe get Martin out of that door a little bit cleaner, Beta, but he kind of got juggled every which way, every step of that push. He was up in the air or just kind of off the ground, not moving forward, and made his exit a little bit more dangerous for the Bus Crew. So with him going down, it kind of gives reason to why people don't really make that push over.
Oh, they're actually hiding around the corner of the Bus Crew, just kind of entering desperation mode here, just pulling all the tricks out the bag right now, and they're actually doing really well.
Tobbs.
Oh my god, top flank.
10 players enter, 1 blender Beta, and only 2 remain, and they are all Bus Crew. They will keep pressing this advantage forward. Alba's hungry, and Alba's been fed. He's actually fed.
Yeah, that was kind of silly. All right, so that was actually, I think he was trying to speed up everything, but that will actually just end up slowing it down. And now Martin's not looking forward. They've sent players behind as well. Uber has been forced on Ombrag, but Martin actually didn't make it out alive. But yeah, Albert going forward like that, trying to speed up the game, actually slowed it down for them. So.
They've got the Uber charge, but everyone's just so weak over on the Bus Crew here. If they overextend past this Uber charge, it makes me wonder if they'll even be able to kill players on their own. They will clean up these few remaining players that are trying to work their way behind here, but Ascent don't even have to do that. They can just kind of slow it down just even more. They've got 40 seconds left on the clock. It is kind of getting a little bit squeaky bum time at this point. I mean, they just need this one round to kind of tie it up and bring it to a golden cap, and this is something that the Bus Crew will more than happily settle for right now. They're making the push attempt in. Oh, Elacor, the crashing reality comes biting down on them. Elacor not only takes out 1, 2, but 3 players in that second point exchange. Even a GG has been called out by the captain of the Bus Crew here. Jon has kind of given it to Ascent.EU, and there we go. I think the fat lady is singing Beta. It is over. It is 2-1 to Ascent.
Yeah, they actually squeezed it out there. It was actually a pretty decent situation for the Bus Crew. You know, if you have to do some sort of push, desperation push, like neither team having an Uber is a really good situation there. Unfortunately for them, there's just Elacor in a tight corridor between them and the second point, and he just killed everything. I think he got like a 5k of people just like funneling into him because they had to. So they actually did manage to take that game. So That's a bit surprising after seeing the first map. It seemed like it was a pretty convincing win for him, the bus crew. So, let's take a look at some logs and see if we can figure out why they were able to win like that.
That is an excellent point, Peter. I would love to do that right now, but my Wi-Fi has just crashed, and I can't load the logs, so I'm going to have to just entrust you. Oh god, brace yourselves, TF2 community. I'm going to Alt-Tab.
What? Why? Can you not just close it? Like, we're done with casting, right? So... alright. And you never heard from TurboTabs ever again. So, yeah, I can just look at these logs and I can immediately tell you that the explosive classes for Ascent just really carried the day for them. Like, look at all that damage and
I
kills.
made it. Am I out on the other side? Am I here? Speak to me, Peter.
Oh, yeah. Elikor kind of went nuts. Korvac and Medico both went nuts. And then, looking at the scouts again, Neo has 4 kills and his team still won. And that's pretty good. Opti this time around went 18 for 17. That's good. The DPM is still kind of bad. So the scouts were definitely still better on bus crew, but just the explosive classes. I dare say, did I call it? That was like what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But it played into the strength of Ascent.
Goes to show why you're our main analysis man, Peter. But I can't believe it. This is one of the rare times in TF2 where if I say to the players, do you think the maps played a part tonight? They might actually say yes.
Yeah, they could absolutely do it. And we saw only 2 drops on this map. That's weird, right? And quite a lot of heals coming out from both of them. Slightly higher on Ombrak. And let's see, Korvac got by far the most heals this time around, so I feel like I'm right in also saying that he is the pocket for them. But, you know, we can actually get some players in here and ask them these kind of questions. So, yeah, so let's pull them in here.
Just spoils the fun.
What?
All right, so we are joined now. So first of all, we're joined by Ombrak, and we will speak to him first. So Ombrak, how was that game for you guys? It seemed like it was night and day basically from the 2 maps.
I wouldn't say that. I think even like the scoreline process said that we lost, of course, but I think they pushed our last a lot of times without trying anything to no crack. So I think it was more even than what the scoreline says on process, and pretty much the same on Granary. I think just from all the PCWs we had against these guys, I think overall we tied. We won the same amounts of maps and lost the same amount, so kind of went how we expected, I guess.
All right, so just going to steal TurboTabs' question. Do you think maps played a part in this? Because you obviously won one and lost one. So
no.
Like how
My one question.
Probably,
so, yeah.
I guess if we had played Cardinal, they would have won. And maybe if that played Product, considering Alba was hitting shot and sniper, maybe would have lost as well. So I don't know. I think it's not like I don't think the map question is relevant to TurboTabs because
God damn it.
I mean it's a schedule. Like it's not like we picked maps we thought we were better on. So just both teams just had to play the 2 maps.
I'm not saying if you can change it, but wouldn't it be nice to just fantasize about some of these worlds be Ombrak where you just think, oh god, imagine a world where we played Alba and the bus crew over on week 7 and you just like start thinking, oh, what a nicer world that would have been. But anyway.
Well, week 7 they would have been processed as well, so one of the map would have been the same.
Right,
I'm sorry.
Checkmate. Okay, we do have Alba in here. So we don't have to fantasize, and Tobbs as well. Wow, 2 for 1. So we want to welcome in these boys from the bus crew. And what do you think, guys? Albenbrack says that first process map was quite back and forth between these teams. It was a lot closer than the scoreline dictates. Did that feel like the case for you guys?
I feel like for the first half, it was very even. I don't know. It felt like towards the end that we had pretty decent control. But it was definitely like a very even game.
How about you, Tob? Did it feel like an even game, or were you guys was it just too easy?
The first 10 minutes were kind of back and forth and close. I'd agree on that. But I feel like the rest of the match, like the last 20 minutes or something, was just in our control. Because
You were just on last doing nothing.
Yeah.
So of course you control.
Yeah, that's exactly what control means. just had control of the game, just played super gay. That's how to win, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, Alba, you sniped quite a lot on process.
Yeah.
How come you didn't do that on Granary?
Didn't have as many chances to snipe really. Like Granary is not as good of a map to snipe on.
So would you say the map mattered?
Nah, I wouldn't say so. Like,
Damn it!
It never matters.
We literally set them up for that. We were like, "Is this true? Yes. Is this true? Yes." So this, by definition, must be true. No.
I was honestly, like, going into this matchup, I was honestly expecting to lose process and win Granary, and it went reversed, so it's pretty interesting.
Kind of the same.
Like, our scrim results have been pretty poor on process, I would say.
One more question.
Our process results were really good, so I think we expected the same.
And that is the cruel, I guess, temptress of TF2, because it happens all the times in scrims. Anyway, one more question I have for the bus crew before we kind of bring things back to Ascent. Now, me and Beta were having a little bit of a discussion early on process about why you won that map, and Beta's saying, like, it was good decision-making, but maybe poor execution, while otherwise I was saying it was good execution, but maybe overall bad decision-making. What did you guys personally think was the case for that process map?
Thomas, you want to grab this one?
I was spending most of my time trying to watch flanks. So I would probably say that it was just playing really just safe, I guess, maybe.
So I guess
we started getting I guess, a round advantage, and we just played off that and played it really just safe in general. That's what I feel like.
Yeah, it's probably true. Like, you never lost your medic unless he dropped, so
yeah,
that's probably a good point.
Just bombed in and dropped our medic, I guess.
No, he literally didn't die unless he dropped. He had 3 deaths and 3 drops. So.
Yeah, that's true.
But, yeah. Also, let's go back to Ascent. So, Umbrak, we were talking about early in the game that, you kind of remade top 5 Rocket, basically.
Yeah.
What it kind of looks like. But we were talking about, like, how active has Korvac and Medico and Opti and Neo all been? Because I haven't really seen them around. They've kind of gone for a season or 2. But, like, how active has this team actually been?
I think they were all just double mixing on process, so this is what we expected to win process. But apart from that, they haven't played much. They're just farming a real esports game like Fortnite now. So they didn't play much of Tier 2 going into that season. Maybe that's why it's still a bit shaky DM wise. But I feel like at least I like the way we play. I feel like we actually try to do stuff most of the time. So.
Do you think you have a real chance to just improve throughout the season?
Well, if it's just shaking up the rest, then it's like getting better and better all the time. I think it's going to depend a lot on how the other teams play as well. Because when we play aggressive, I think it's better for like us and entertainment-wise, even though it doesn't have much value in the results in the end, the entertainment factor. But I think if we manage to break teams like just not doing anything, like, which is fair because in the end this is probably the safest way to win, but this is not really what we are aiming for this season. I was expecting Buskrew to play way more aggressively, given PCWs we had played against them so far. But I don't know. I'm kind of worried that if team just play gay, like Top said. I'm quoting. I'm not insulting. I'm quoting. Like, if people play gay during officials, I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but this is going to be super boring. I'm all for a super deep TF2.
Quick roster question for the bus crew. I've picked up Polygon instead of Poison, and me and Beta were like quick, almost like a second silence for Poison, as he seemed like a guy that was on the up and coming, but now he's gone for whatever reason or whatever. But now you've got Polygon. Now, how does Polygon fare compared to your old teammate Poison? Has he got any sort of new quirks or nice things about him? What can you say about Polygon in comparison to Poison?
I can take this one. I obviously Polygon is a little bit more experienced than Poison, and I feel like Polygon is a little bit more confident in taking initiative, which I think really fits the team well. Like before, we could end up in scenarios where we literally didn't know what to do, but I feel like Polygon helps out with that, like coming up with ideas and stuff like that.
He's more intent on trying to trade trades, which is good, but there's also Poison played a lot more jumpy, I would say, which is kind of why we were playing really aggressive the last time we had Poison. So
how about your boy Bot Mode instead of Deox?
I think Deox wanted to quit, right?
Yeah, Deox had real life stuff going on, so I didn't really feel like he had time to play. So we got our boy Bot Mode in.
What does he bring to the table?
He
also
drops me through the wall.
I mean, he also has like tons of experience, and he comes with really good really good calls, like just stuff that coordinates us a bit. Like when we're a bit too far forward or stuff like that, he helps out, like making sure that we are trying to be in a good position at least.
Okay, I've just got the last few questions, and we'll kind of start wrapping things up here now. Ombrak, before I ask you your aspirations for your team this season and all that, I've got to ask about this granary moment where you kind of walked in on the right-hand side yard, and tried to take a fight one-on-one on Scout. Like, walk me through what was going through the mumble, or what was the thing. Maybe just kind of give context to why that play happened.
So this, like, first of all, it was retarded. I shouldn't have done that. But so medical calls Botmod to be really weak, so I assume one arrow is enough to kill him.
Do you know it can shoot far away though?
So can the arrows.
Well,
then you can but then you can close the distance way faster than me. And with this team, even though I'm not playing a damage class, sometimes I have to initiate. I have to put myself on the front line sometimes. Otherwise, my team don't really trust my calls. And so I was hoping that if they saw me like going for the fight, they would come with me. And last but not least, because he kind of shoot me through the wall on the last shot because of the 80 ping as well. But in the end, like overall, that was just a bad play from me.
So you kind of like making it sound like you're a mafia boss. So to get the respect of your crew, you need to start punching some scouts as well as just the rest of them. You don't want to be the one that's micromanaging people. You don't have a team. You have I guess you just kind of a man that takes things under his own, I guess, hands. Anyway,
but I think it's also because when your main caller is the medic and you want to play slow, it's easy because you don't have to commit. But if you want to play aggro but your main caller is the medic, it's harder because of course I can't call damage or stuff like that. So I have to make up for that, and I don't think anyone is able to main call like I do in this team yet. So I don't know, it's like sometimes I have to do that kind of stuff, even though it's a mistake for now. I think on the wrong line it's going to be better. Like, people blame a lot of the medics for the drops, but sometimes I think a drop at one moment is necessary so your team actually realize you have to move forwards, and the situation gets better afterwards. And I feel like that kind of worked out, because in the end my team, like the last 15 minutes on Granary, they wanted to wait all the time, and I was like, no, we should push all the time. And even though that means put myself in danger a bit, I think this is why we didn't concede another point, because we actually pressed W more.
Okay. Basically, you were just manning up. Gotcha.
Yeah, because my team can't do it.
All right. Well, now this segues nicely into my final set of questions for both of these teams. Is your aspirations for the seasons. This is the part where people are going to look at your week 1 games and then quickly flick to week 7 in the YouTube VODs and kind of make you eat your own words. But before you can eat them, you have to make them. Ombrak, what are your aspirations for this team this season?
None. Like, honestly, I just want to bust, try to break some defenses and kill people. And I think the first thing we settled before starting the season is that we're going to trying to make a frag movie at the end, so we need frags for that. So this is pretty much all that matters.
Wow.
Trying to go bomb deep and get frags. I think it can work. I think we can beat most of the teams if we do that. So hopefully it works out. But there's no like we have to be third, we have to be second, because I feel like having too high expectations, it breaks team. It doesn't make them stronger.
So playoffs is not
Hello,
a thing
champ.
here. It's just literally like get the team kind of shaking off the rust. You know, you come where you come, have fun with it, make a frag movie. I mean, yeah, all right. I can appreciate that. Alba, Tobbs,
Yeah.
what are your aspirations this season? I mean, you guys have got to be on the up and up.
I think the problem was that last season we had way too high expectations and we just fucking died. Sorry for swearing.
I said it's
feel
a
like-
Christian server, thank you.
I feel like this time around, I guess like top 4 is kind of where we would like to be, but there's no like hard goals really.
Is that true, Tobbs? Or are you just trying to make a frag movie as well?
I kind of agree. I don't really have any expectations, but if I should be very oddly specific about one thing, I would love to be stopping Block 4 Elector in playoff.
Oh, okay, I like that. That's
Just
a
to-
storyline there, Tobbs.
Just to meme on Eames, just to be a little bitch to him.
Yeah, I want people that watch the YouTube video to like tag prediction for the season and then the timestamp, so it's easy to find. So it's easy to make fun of people if they don't reach their goals. Thank you.
But if I should be honest, I don't really know where we're gonna end, because I really think the season is looking like anyone could really make playoffs at this point in time. It doesn't look like there's any team I would say, yeah, this team is definitely gonna be bottom prem or something. I don't think there is.
Neat. All right. I think I'm quite happy with our interview, Beta. I'm not sure about you. Do you have any smart questions, perhaps?
Nope. Never
Very
had.
good.
Don't have anyone.
Very good. This means we can swiftly move on to our shout-out. Come on, guys, let's make this lickety-split. I am busting for the toilet. So, Alba, let's start off with you. Alphabetical, as always. Any shout-outs?
I'm gonna start off with a shout out to Smira for being a lad. Shout out to Bot Mode actually. Like I'm the pocket scout, but he was like, I hit some nice shots in the warm up, and he was like, okay, you're sniping today, and yeah, it paid off on process. Yeah, shout outs to you guys for casting it, and shout outs to the bus crew and Ascent.
Hombrak.
Yes. Shout out to Ascent. Shout out to my team. Shout out to my amazing scouts. I think we have the best scout duo of the Prem right now. Sick damage and frags. Shout out to you guys for casting as well. Shout out to everyone who watched that. Shout out to Botmod for the worst drop I've had in a quite long time now. And shout out to Alba for the drops. I have nothing to blame me over for these drops, so I'm fine with this. And shout out to Babs.
Tobbs.
Shout out to Lava Extract and Krung and my team, and also I promised Alba to do this, but
Only if you can't sing unless you win. That's the rules.
God damn it.
Do it anyway.
No, I'll mute you. You can't. You have to win. You have to earn it.
Are you sure about that?
Oh my. Okay. All right. We're good. Jesus, how do you even follow up that? Beta, do me the honors.
I'm not going to.
Yeah. I think that the last thing I will mention before we go is that there's a top 10 Tier 2 plays from Copenhagen Land. It was just released now, so I'm going to go watch that. I'm super hyped.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. And then otherwise, I think there's a game on, not tomorrow, but Thursday. Yep.
Two
Was
games,
it top
actually.
10 plays from Copenhagen Land?
Yep.
Oh,
so
boy.
it should be good.
Link me on Steam, buddy.
I'll think about it. But yeah, thank you guys all for watching. Thank you to Wiethoofd for doing production. Congratulations to both teams, I suppose. You're all winners or losers. No, it's TF2, so you're
We're
all
all
losers.
losers.
Yeah, that's how it works in TF2. And then, yeah, thank you, TurboTabs, for casting me tonight. It was great. And I hope you're done with all this Dota stuff. We need you in TF2.
No, I called the players heroes at one point, and I was
Oh,
like, no, roll with it. All right, Yeah. So that's
I am your hero.
You're always my hero, Ombrag.
Nice.
All right, teamfortress.tv out. This is ETF2L Season 30, sponsored by STN Trading and Scrap.tf. Again, TurboTabs and Beta on the microphone. Wiethoofd doing all the butter pressing, and Albert, Ombrag, Tobbs were joining us in the interview. We've got YouTube, Discord, Facebook, Twitter, website. We've got it all. Teamfortress.tv if you want to find all that stuff. That is us. See you next time.